Hello and welcome to the SportsGrad podcast. My name is Ryan Walker and with me is Mr. Football, Ruben Williams. How are you, mate?
G'day, Ryan. I'm brilliant, thank you. My voice is a bit husky today. I've been a bit sick lately, unfortunately, but always a pleasure to do the podcast with you. So couldn't be happier. You've really lifted my my illness. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you do sound a bit husky. Some people like a husky voice though. So, I mean, whatever
We'll
works.
check. We'll check the downloads after this, see if it's worked.
Yeah, I reckon it might. Hey, before we start, a message from our good friends at Deakin University, where every single course is backed by industry experts. So you can be confident you'll get the job you want with a degree that employers want. Deakin University, progressive real-world learning. Today's show is also brought to you by our other good friends at Sports Where I Am. Give yourself a memorable summer to look forward to and head to sportswhereiam.com to find all your favorite sports, plus use the code SportsGrad for 5% off your tickets. If you want to learn more about who we are or ask us any questions, feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. You can find a link to do so in the show notes. Today, we are talking about a brand new initiative that we're announcing this week, which I'll get onto in one moment. But firstly, Rubes, I mean, big news over the weekend, the grand final, the AFL Grand Final.
Huge.
What did you think? I mean, Perth looked unreal, if I'll say so myself.
Perth looked magnificent. I can tell why you're dying to get back there, Ryan.
Yeah.
The game itself was extremely exciting until halftime, and then incredibly impressive after halftime. I know it was a blowout and it wasn't close in the end, but I think the way Melbourne played was outstanding. Just good to watch.
Yeah. It was, I reckon the first half was shaping up to be probably one of the best grand finals we've had in a long time.
I was feeling that too.
And everyone was a little bit excited. It was certainly game on. And then I think it might have been the 10-minute mark or something of the third quarter. And all of a sudden, it's like a light just switched. And I think, all hell broke loose. That's a good pun because, the D's, they won from hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations to the Demons.
Well done to our friends down there at Melbourne Park. Your household, I'm sure, would have been in a somber mood, Ryan.
Yeah, it wasn't a great mood around the traps, mate. But you win some, you lose some. And I think nobody could have stopped the D's on Saturday night. So fair enough. Well played to them. NRL next weekend. So I'm sure we'll do another debriefing of that. Which I think is the Panthers and the Rabbitohs. Very unexpected.
Yes.
Melbourne Storm lost. But
Storm are out.
Yeah, I feel like we could make a podcast just about talking about sport, but we'll actually get onto something now, which is what I think is a little bit more exciting than the grand final, Ruben, of course. And that is a new initiative that we're announcing this week, which is called Hire Our Grads, which is a nice little ring to it, I think. But today, we're just going to take everyone through what Hire Our Grads is. So I'll start off with you. Give us a bit of a rundown. Give us a bit of a rundown about what is it and what led to this point, Rubes.
Yeah, for sure. So it basically is what it says. Hire our grads. We want people out there who need graduate talent to hire the people in our sports grad community. And the way this came about is just through a series of people messaging us over a long period of time to the point where, all right, we need to connect. We need to connect the dots here. I think it started way back in like May or around May when I put out a post on LinkedIn, which was all around grassroots sport and volunteering in grassroots sport. And Adam Bishop, you might remember, general manager at Athletics Australia, he made a very heartfelt comment around why he valued grassroots, volunteering grassroots. And we immediately picked up on that comment and said, hey, do you want to come to the podcast? And so we got a podcast out of that comment.
Yeah.
After that, he then says to me, hey, Ruben, by the way, we need to cover a person internally at Athletics Australia for 5 to 6 weeks. Do you know anyone who can help us out? And I said, yep, absolutely. Just send me through a job description, and I'll post it in the membership, and someone will pick it up. And so we shared it in there. There was a bunch of people who applied, and Amrit Pal Singh, he was one of the people who applied to it. He gave me a call, asked me a couple of questions. I kind of helped him out with some of his responses as well. And then he got the job with Athletics Australia. And for, I think, 5 to 6 weeks, he filled that role. And then he messaged me and says, Ruben, my contract's been extended to like the end of July. And so he ended up inside Athletics Australia for a long period of time. So there's like this gig economy within the sports industry where people need opportunities filled every now and again that our graduates are kind of just waiting to jump onto. They're ready to fill any opportunity that you've got available. And so that was kind of where it all started. We thought, we've got people ready to go. We just need to connect the dots.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I've got probably the same example, to be honest. A colleague of mine at CA said, hey, we're hiring a few roles over the summer. And because, like many sports, cricket and AFL and all these big sports are so seasonal, that, as you said, there's organisations out there who need to just fill some roles quickly and easily, so that they can just do it straight away, because it is such a hectic time of the year. So I got a message the other day, and he sort of said, hey, like, we know you've got such a strong group of members at SportsGrad, and so many listeners to the podcast that, do you have anyone in mind that could fill this role? And I was like, okay, this is probably the 5th message of this kind, and I should probably start acting on this, because there's so many people in our network that could do these roles coming through. So obviously put the post out on our membership community and got a huge response. I reckon there was about 20 people who sent their resumes through. So I was very happy to send them on to my colleague at CA, who was like, wow, like, how good's this? So a good friend of the show and one of our most loyal members, Shekhar, was able to land a role in the digital team at Cricket Australia, which is just an unbelievable opportunity for him. And I think he's so happy to be in that role. But I think what that shows, Rubes, like, as we said, these roles just pop up. Like, sometimes they're not actually planned, but like they just come up because there's so much to be done in time for the season. So
yeah,
that's just as easy as it can be, because there's that many people wanting them.
And yeah, that last point around in time for the season, like, your colleague obviously needs these jobs done very quickly. And one of our good friends of the show, Daniel Simons, HR manager at Golf Australia, he told us that up to 600 people are applying for entry-level roles. And I'd imagine not everybody has got time to sift through up to 600 applications. And so, for your colleague at CA, for him just to say, hey, Ryan, just find me someone good and let's get going, is a win-win for everybody. Like, Shekhar gets an incredible start in the sports industry. CA get a person who they can backfill a role with, and everybody wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, just a thought on that as well. And going back to what Hamish said last week around 2021, and surely we're better than a resume. I mean, like, I agree with Hamish, but I also think there's a strong place for a resume. But I think what I was able to do with this role was, like, I knew at least a bunch of these people who I'd met before, and I've got a relationship with and had spoken to. And I think Shekhar, for me, like, he's very keen. He was very enthusiastic and always happy to have a chat. But imagine if, say, like, someone had, like, how Haim said, why aren't there videos of people doing something? And it got me thinking, I'm like, imagine if I had, like, a video from someone and I could just pass that on to someone to say, this is the person you need. So that might be something. Maybe we should do a podcast on how to develop a video resume.
But to your point as well, like, one of the other things Hamish said was the better you can tell your story, the more emotionally connected you can get to that person, and then
Mm,
it's easier for them to make a decision in your favor. These people like Cricket Australia and Athletics Australia are coming to us to say, "Hey, just give me someone good. Who do you know?" And Ryan, like we're putting forward the people who have made themselves known to us. Like Shekhar has attended almost every single webinar,
mm.
and he's been at every event. He posts regularly on the community board. Amrit Power 2 has been extremely engaging too. So it's easy for they're the first ones who come to mind for us, and we feel confident putting them forward
Yeah.
because they've put themselves out there. Um, yeah, so that's another benefit of having us as like your tip off person too.
I love that. We're tip off people. So how does it work? Like, tell us from start to finish. How does this sort of work for sports looking for people? How does it work for grads? How does it all work?
Mm. Yeah. So previously, as you can probably tell, it was all very ad hoc. We'd get a message. We need a person. Here's a rough job description. We just chuck it on the membership. Now we've built a landing page. There's a tab on the website that says hire. If you go there, you can then enter the details of the role. That will then send it through to Resh, our community manager, who will then post the job on our community membership job page. And then all the members in there from 13 countries around the world can access these jobs. Uh, and so that's as simple as it. At the moment, we're still kind of just we're testing it out to see how it goes. It doesn't cost anything for organizations if they want to list a role on there. We're just connecting organizations with good people at this point in time.
Yeah, nice. It's interesting because I know in the past we've had all these jobs that have kind of come to us, and we've had to kind of get an expression of interest and all that kind of thing.
Mm,
So I guess this, by the sounds of it, it sounds like a bit of a more structured way to get the best out of posting that job. So
mm,
you know, if you flick a job to me and Ruben, we might say it's this, it's that. You got to have this and that. But I
mm,
think this probably allows it to be a more structured way, so you can get exactly who you're wanting, and they can get all the
mm.
information from the get go.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And also, like, people will send us links to jobs that are on seek.com or other job pages as well. Um, if people want those shared in the membership too, same process, just send us a link to the job through that page, and that will get uploaded as well. And you'll make sure that your job is seen by our membership too.
Awesome. You mentioned before around the why we're doing this, and
Mm,
and primarily it comes down to we get so many messages from organizations who are looking for people, looking for grads, looking for people to fill roles. Is that the primary reason why we're doing this? Just to basically clear your inbox, or?
well, Ryan, our purpose has always been to help people get jobs in sport. And that's because, you and I have both been students who have battled through university trying to answer the question, how do I get a job in sport? And we've, grinded away for years and years, found our way into Cricket Australia. And after 4 years of working full time, we kind of now know what it takes to make it in the early years of your career. And now, through all the webinars that we're doing and all the community pages and engagement and conversations we're having, we're kind of feeding that back in to kind of help our members be the best possible candidates that they can be. And that's because Ned Coton actually gave me this line, CEO of Engage RM and former chairman of Basketball Australia. He came on one of our webinars and said, I believe in SportsGrad and what you guys are doing because you guys are empowering the people powering sport. And if sport is better, then the world is better. And that's essentially what we're trying to do. We're trying to empower the people powering sport. And we're starting right at the bottom when people enter the industry.
I love it. I love the word empower. It's good. It's kind of like our purpose, which I love it. We've spoken about the membership a lot tonight. Chat to me about who is in this membership, because those who are listening who might not be a member, who might be looking to get involved,
Hmm.
who are in the membership.
Yeah. So as I said before, like we've got members from 13 countries around the world. So if you're listening to this from Australia, the UK, the US, India, uh, even other random parts, we've got people from the Netherlands, France, Italy, Costa Rica, Hong Kong. Like there's Canada. There's just people everywhere. The beauty of the internet is that people can find you anywhere. So that's been extremely advantageous for someone like Ned Coaten and Engage RM, who came to us and said, hey, we want some people working with our AFL clients. And it's all remote work. You can do it from anywhere in the world. And their team is already around the world. And so, if people want people doing these jobs in remote locations, we've got people anywhere in the world who can do them. But within the membership itself, like everyone in there is motivated to the point to put money down and invest in their career. So they've already like taken the initiative to go a step beyond their peers at university. And within that, you've got people engaging in webinars, networking with each other. Like they're all extremely proactive in advancing their career. And that's exactly what we're trying to build up. And so far, you've got people like Nathan Peroni, who's landing jobs at the AFL, like Locke Simpkin got a job at Football Australia. Jacob Colangello got one at Softball WA. James Briggs has had an awesome year doing an internship with the Essendon Football Club, his beloved football team. Shiv Ranjit, one of the early people I worked with, is now at Softball New South Wales. Anshul Tharakan, she is at Table Tennis Australia. She had one goal in mind when she came over from India, and that was to work for her, the national body of table tennis in Australia. She loves that sport. Saloni Pradhan, Saloni is another one as well. She said, when I got to Australia, I only wanted two things. One, to work for Cricket Australia, and two, to meet Brett Lee. And we've helped her achieve the first one, and we're still finding a way to help her achieve the second one.
Well, surely your social media reach, you'd be able to get Brett in touch with Saloni.
Yeah, one day, hopefully. Anyone listening to this who knows Brett, please let us know. But yeah, so like the people in the membership are getting picked up by the biggest organizations in Australia at the moment. And we really just kind of want to enhance the rest of that group who are extremely talented, motivated, who we are encouraging an enormous amount of initiative in to get connected with the jobs that are out there. Because just as hard as it is for grads to find a job, it's hard for organizations to find good people. And so we're encouraging our people to actually put their hand up and make themselves known, because there are opportunities out there. I got a message from a head of department the other day from one of Australia's national sporting bodies who said, hey, can you share this job? By the way, this year compared to last year, it's been extremely tough to find high quality talent. And so if we can, provide more talent to the sports industry, then everybody wins.
Awesome. It sounds like a no-brainer for one, someone to join the membership, but also two, organizations to get involved with Hire Our Grads. So unreal. Nice one. Well, that basically gives everyone a bit of a summary of what Hire Our Grads is. We'll be announcing it tomorrow, I believe, Ruben, which is huge.
Yes. The page goes up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow morning, if you're an organization, you'll be able to submit your job.
Amazing. Alrighty. Well, hope you've enjoyed that breakdown of Hire Our Grads. Thank you for listening, and thank you for joining with a husky voice, Rubes. I hope your health improves.
I'm glad I got through without coughing.
Yeah, it was impressive. We were speaking off air briefly for everyone listening in around your husky voice and whether you'll be able to get through cough-free. So you've done extremely well.
I was extremely relieved. I got the negative COVID test back yesterday. So
brilliant.
We're all good to go.
Hey, also quick one. I hear you're going to stay in Lawn for a little bit longer. Is that the plan?
Yeah. I'm going to be down till December now, which is unreal. So a bit of summertime in Lawn, and then next year get back to Melbourne and probably try and base myself around Richmond or something like that. So if anyone needs if anyone's got an empty room in a share house, let me know.
Brilliant. Well, the Prince of Lawn is slowly slowly edging his way towards the king of lawns. So I'm very concerned you might never return. So, but yeah, how's that for a call out? If anyone needs a housemate in the Richmond area of Melbourne, give Reuben a shout. He might be
Yeah, or
keen
just
come 2022.
yeah, submit your applications on Hire Our Grads. I'll have a look at them through there.
Is this why we're actually doing Hire Our Grads? So you can just get
Yeah, just so I can
housemates
find them.
submitted? Yeah,
Exactly.
cool. All right, brilliant. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.